we're going to be running. Source Connect is in chat. He's saying hey over there. Hello. Tonight we're going to roll my character up and get everything going for that. As the streamer, I'm going to take kind of a little bit of a special position in the campaign. Not necessarily as the leader, but somewhat, as I'll be a noble character class to start. Yo, Biggs the Gamer, what's up, man? Hey, you're welcome for a raid earlier. Thanks for popping back. I hope you're doing well. Everybody go check out Biggs. This is where we ended the initial stream with Splatoon. And then now these are the tools with which we'll be using for the next phase here. Welcome in, Biggs. Good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, this is what we're doing here. I've got my character sheet. So fresh and so clean. Yo, I'm Blue Wave. What's up, man? Hello. Yeah, we're doing the Lounge Town tonight. I got out the dot camera. Saturday evenings, roughly every other Saturday is when we're looking to be able to kind of run this campaign. So if you have ever wanted to be in a Dungeons and Dragons like role-playing game, tabletop role-playing game, remote, online obviously, then this is the place to be. Source says he could run up to like 20 people as well. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay version 1. Never been able to run a TTRPG before. Never had enough interested friends. Biggs, that's it. So this may be for you. I mean, that's actually kind of what we talk about often in my gaming group on Thursday nights, is that we have such a great group of people that are all friends with each other already, and interest in this kind of stuff that heavily that we've been meeting together for decades, playing various systems, which is almost unheard of. And the combination of that is a part of the reason why we're here now talking about this, because Source and I really know that there's a lot of folks that are out there that like playing these games, but don't always have a chance to join a game that they have people that they know are going to be consistent enough, that are comfortable, helping to establish a comfortable enough space that everybody can have fun exploring our imagination and acting it out in a role play scenario. It gets to be awkward if you're uncomfortable with that kind of stuff. It takes a second to get used to it. So having cool people, I think I'm cool people, it's like, okay, we wanted to be able to be out here and offer that up, see if we could have a space. So new character runs, no specific classes decided upon yet. That's all in the discussion process. That's all what we're here for tonight. I'm getting ready to hop over.
Yeah, the game isn't necessarily like Dungeons and Dragons where you have classes. There are careers that you enter into, and then you kind of work through that career to go on your adventures.
So essentially it's like not a class, but you have to have a way to make a living to feed yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah, and unlike Dungeons and Dragons, there's 20 pages of character classes to choose from. And if you start at page 20, you can see it has everything from agitator to I'm not sure what's at the end.
There's agitator. And then a whole mess of classes here. Or not classes, rather, professions. And then at the end, profession in the book. Woodsman.
Wizard's apprentice.
Woodsman.
Woodsman.
Important. In the wood chopped era, you know. Wizards need things. Everybody needs some wood to keep their house warm. So
we have an engineer.
So currently we have an engineer and a noble. And do you want to explain a little bit about what you were thinking the group goal for the group role play effort here? Since this is a community effort, it helps that we all know kind of what we're kind of thinking about doing and heading to. So I'm going to flip over to the noble page while you talk about that and start filling out the parts that don't need discussion.
The basic idea is that the land is... Hold on, I have to mute myself while I talk. I'll mess myself up. The land is at war. Several kingdoms are at war with an empire system to the west. And the young noble, Spartan, has to head out to the east to an unclaimed piece of land and set up a village. Through the career system here, well, there's everything from laborers to woodcutters, engineers, carpenters. And I think as a group, the first effort is to build some sort of sustainable fort while you hold off the remnants of the Yellow Eye Goblin clan.
So what do we have as far as classes so far, and what would be most useful for me to do?
So professions we currently have are noble and engineer. And then most useful, I mean, there's a lot of useful things that we're as a team going to be looking forward to. If you think about this fantasy horse knights era, then early gunpowder era, but with magic as well, like things a village would need. So all your basic craftsmen, all your basic trade folk as well. This book is linked in the Discord channel in the pin up there, so you could pull it up yourself. And the character sheet that I have printed is the one in the back of the book here. So you should just take a look at that whole thing and grab that so that you could kind of read along, essentially. So yeah, Grufe, the book is linked in the Discord channel. It's pinned, and this character sheet is in the back of the book. So you can just get a copy of it from there. And if you want to print out a book page, the front and back sheet, character sheet, I heavily recommend everyone that plays tries to do it on pen and paper, just to bring that extra like physical part to it, you know. Dice, I'm gonna roll dice only when I have the document camera so you can see the dice. Otherwise I will use the Discord or the Twitch dice rolling bots to ensure everybody can see the rolls properly. So Group A, yeah, any kind of to restate, basically any kind of profession that's in the book starting on page 20, and that you think a early Renaissance era village would need, that's growing, that's becoming a new village out of basically nothing. So are we going to be on any water sources, rivers, lakes, oceans, seas?
Yes, the Skull River.
Skull River. Is this like a full like barge size river, or like a small like seasonal thing, or you know what I mean? Could you like elaborate on the river? I'm a floater. I'm like,
Well, yeah. Can you? Let's see if I can bring up the map.
Yeah,
or
I'm doing
prints
that. Area of the map that our campaign is going to be happening in. Barak Var is the major dwarven stronghold in this region. It's one of the only dwarven area strongholds immediately in this immediate human region, and surrounded by Somjak to the west, the larger city you see there, and then up the river from there is another smaller city, and then another up in the northwest. So there's also the red X. That's the yellow eye goblins. They're goblins, green skins in this game. Goblins are kind of like the active enemies of humans, and they're like, I don't know, like we always kind of debate, are they evil or are they just monsters? Like, I don't know. Source, I'll just kick that off there. I'll let you go for a second. Sorry.
The morality of goblin slaying. It's a little advanced. I don't know. Well, that is Barak Var. Means sea gate, and that's the home of the Dwarven Navy. In Warhammer, they're kind of steampunky, steam ironclads. The goal will be to create a town up the river in the Varenka Hills.
Varenka Hills. Okay. I'm gonna put that on my character sheet here somewhere under the wealth section, just because it's a big block and I got lots of stuff, room for that. Okay. Establish a small colony village in the Varenka Hills.
I think it's spelled Varenka.
Varenka Hills. Okay.
Might be W sounding V. You never know. And the idea is that you will create this town in order to create a supply source for Barak Var and Somjak, so that they can fight a war against forces to the west. Most of this area has been taken over by a force from across the seas, out of the Black Gulf and down on this peninsula, the Pirates' Coast. You can see that the map itself is quite large. We'll zoom back in to Barak Var. This represents like 60 miles, a couple days travel, a few days travel by cart. We're talking about being out 150 miles or so from the nearest town.
So a very remote frontier village to gather raw material resources, probably like lumber and fish and pelts and etc.
All of those things are good.
Pokemon chat.
You might catch Pokemon.
They might catch you. Don't be slipping.
And with the way that the Warhammer system uses careers, I figured it would be a good way to use various laborer careers or craftsman careers and start a little role-playing town in the version of Animal Crossing in our heads, or something along that lines. We're here to have fun.
Survival,
is the big thing,
adventure
and I'm willing
builder.
to do this. So yeah, I'm willing to have fun with everybody. This will be good.
Awesome. So yeah, welcome in Obite in chat. I see we got several folks now. Good to have you all. I'm open mic right now because I am live on Twitch, so it just to make it easier for everybody and not have to like mute and whatever crosstalk. So just a heads up, I don't normally do that in Discord.
Yeah. I'm going to show the rest of the map here real quick, if that's okay.
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Barak Var is here, and then we'll just zoom out slowly.
Whoa, that's a whole lot. Okay, so that little part where your mouse is at is kind of right where we're at. Okay, and then that whole major peninsula down there is like the border princes right there.
Yeah, it's somewhat similar to like Renaissance Europe, where this is like the Balkan states, this is Italy, Spain, France, Germany.
Okay, so this
And
is like an
Russia.
analog map where it's
That's
not the
correct.
same, but they are similar to, and even maybe like culturally similar to in some aspects.
Exactly. I think it also helps with because it's an analog to the real world, we can use what we know and just it helps the imagination move along a little faster so that I don't have to invent a bunch of
Wheels.
exactly.
So the Barakvar Naval Force, this is the western part of the Barakvar Force there. Nice. And then sending out this expeditionary fleet. My character is a noble in the Barakvar controlling family. The Onyx Grip family has been the leaders of the Barakvar fortress for I'm not sure how many centuries. I'm like a second cousin of some of the more prominent members of that family, but
The Grundlesons.
the Grundlesons, but nobles nonetheless. So I've been kind of tasked with this as the primary administrational overseer, whatever. You know, I'm not necessarily a military expeditionary leader, but kind of the financiers person in charge, if that kind of makes sense. And with the noble claim, whatever. So there's a little bit of a kind of a hierarchical aspect there too.
Yeah, that leads in good with what the border princes are all about. To become a real land-holding noble, you have to fight for your bit of land, find an open bit of property some 100 miles from somebody else, and you lay down roots. So that's in the tradition. You're going to go off and do that out here in the Varenka Hills. The dangers to watch out for are the yellow eyes, and then on the larger scale, all of the orc and various vampire tribes and undead that come streaming out of the Mad Dog Pass. That's largely used as an entrance into the Empire realms by the forces of chaos that spawn from this area over here. And then that is an ancient war. The dwarves still hold the line against all of the orcs and various forces of chaos.
Excellent. So, as a remote frontier outpost, our primary support is going to come from Barakvar. What about the eastern cities across the river? Do we have any like geopolitical connections with them? Yeah, those ones right there.
To start with, no. You're
I mean, we
you're
wouldn't, but Barakvar might. That's what I was kind of. Are they known?
yeah.
Like once we get set up, we should maybe send somebody over and say, "Hey guys, we're over here in the hills. Just to let you know, if you ever are traveling through, stop by. We might have some mead for you or whatever."
These villages here, I believe, are set up as individual kingdoms or princedoms, and
Oh,
they hold the Silk Road from, Mad Dog Pass leads all the way out eventually to China. And so that's the European entrance to the Silk Road. So there's some human, various factions hold these cities.
okay, gotcha. Lots of it's an major international trade border, essentially. Lots of various factions there. Okay, so the human side, I guess any of these little house abodes, they're like human houses. And sorry, y'all been lurking. What system we play? This looks honestly much more fun than D&D. You sold me. It's a Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay system. The book is linked in the Discord channel. First edition. Yep, check it out. You're all welcome to join us. We do not have a cap yet, but we should start making a list of people who, as you roll your character up, then you'll be that'll be the list, right? Well, it'll be easy to do that. I'm starting tonight. We're talking about the world we're in, and we're talking about the system a little bit, and talking about building up my character as well as anyone else's that's here that's looking to do that tonight. So currently, we're looking at every other Saturday as a consistent game time. So
Although Memorial Day weekend's gonna put us a month between games here.
Correct. Like every other Saturday, and of course, we'll have to pause as needed. This is has to be a sustainable thing. That's the other part about gaming that's not always talked about. It has to be a schedule that works, and that it's not so taxing on the rest of your schedule to make that work. So it's if you want something to be fun long term, it has to be something that can work. And that is a big part of why I know a lot of folks have challenges. Scheduling is always a pain. I think, Source, if you could talk to the part that you mentioned that people could play even if they weren't going to be able to be here every session.
Oh yeah. I think that's why 20 would work. And pardon me, hold on. I was in the middle of drinking a sip of coffee and I started talking. Yeah.
Hey, that's my move.
Where was I? Okay, so even if you can't be here for every game, if you want to play, that is just fine. I think at this point we haven't hit the limit, so any kind of input would be great. But also, if you don't feel like making a character, the thing that I would like to see here is community interaction, so that if we need just some flavor, not some flavor, but we can. I want everybody to be able to add to the world so that we can all experience it together, even if you're just doing it in chat, and we'll figure out something to in character things, and maybe something through Discord.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Discord augments, right? Maybe you're not ever able to make the Saturday live stream sessions. Maybe you only participate in the Discord TTRPG channel session and then watch the VODs. Like, we're trying to make this as flexible as possible for everyone to be able to participate that has never had an open and understanding, accepting group here. We're going to be here. We're setting up the framework. We're just hoping folks can hop on board and say, that interests me, that aligns with my schedule enough that I would be able to participate at a meaningful layer. And like Source was saying, even if that layer means I don't ever actually roll up a character sheet proper, but I have a character maybe in the game throughout the text chat portion of it, right? And then maybe you play that long enough throughout the campaign, you're like, Source, can I just roll up a character now? And I'm sure, yeah, let's roll it up, I mean... We're as flexible as it can be, I think, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I really enjoy about role-playing games is that everything gets documented and goes really well into an Excel sheet. So if somebody just wants to run a shop, we can talk once or twice and a shop can be up and running, then you'll collect gold and buy low, sell high, or something along those lines, or get the community to help you achieve a goal or something, and then that way everybody kind of gets to step up, maybe be a quest giver, maybe be an active player, part of the militia when it's time to go to war. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Sorry, I lost my train.
No, that's good. And the other part is, as a village here, we're gonna be. It takes a village. You know what I mean? That's like there's gonna have to be a lot of probably characters that we never roll up. That maybe if you decide you wanted to be the person playing that character or whatever during that time, then have a chat about it. I don't know. Source, you get dropped?
Yeah, it says look.
I'm back to, well. Yes, see? Okay. It's all good. So, as a noble in this game, there is a... Back here. In the book, you pull up on page 35. Jeez, I might need to go get some glasses. Hang on. I have some readers for when I'm role playing. Man, this stuff gets so tiny. All right, page 33 is 32 page rather is the noble page. Whoa, I gotta look. See, this is why people do the look over thing, because if I look at you or move my head around while I'm looking through these glasses, I'm like, ugh. It's like they're great for like magnifying a little bit of text though, but like when I look at chat, I could read chat fine without the glasses. Like it's only like little tiny text right in front of me. I don't know. Oof. Okay, so the noble here. I'm gonna pull this up on the screen and then kind of go through the character profession a little bit. Okay, not in focus yet. Okay, now what I can do, the cool part about this dot cam is it does pretty good with bringing stuff in. So bringing it in. Just make sure it's all in focus here. So as you could all read along is essentially what I'm trying to do. Okay. To be one of the ruling classes seems to the ordinary citizen of the old world to grant the right to live a life removed from the cares and struggles of ordinary men. Nobles control the land, and many have had the sense to involve themselves in matters of commerce, in competition with bankers and financiers. However, the younger sons of noble families frequently have to fend for themselves. When their elder brothers take over the family fortune and estates, since one of the major preoccupations of the noble class seems to be to cause them untold harm to other members, even those from one's own family. Many disinherited nobles turn to the military life of adventuring for excitement, certainly, but many more do so because they wouldn't know what else to do. The noble class is in the warrior class as far as class groupings go for professions, if that makes sense. It's a warrior profession. Certainly, none of them would lower themselves to the practice of trade, or a few would tolerate the boredom of study for an academic profession. They see war as a great and glorious game, and they view getting drunk, insulting commoners, and wrecking restaurants in much the same light. Nobles tend to have a short attention span, an irritating accent, and an unfailing ability to rub lesser mortals up the wrong way. but they nearly always manage to sail through life almost unscathed, owing to the combination of luck, charm, and deference which their free-spiriting manner tends to generate in tradesmen. And their base skills are blather, charm, etiquette, heraldry, luck, read write, ride, wit. Then you roll dice to see if you have gamble, public speaking, consume alcohol, specialist weapon, fencing sword, and a 10% chance of musicianship. And then trappings in this game are the things you have to be able to practice that profession. So the trappings are, once you have them, then you're eligible to start practicing as that profession. So in this case, for a noble, those trappings are a horse. It's a big deal in this game if you're not a noble. Expensive clothes. 2d6 crown gold. Jewelry worth 10d6 gold crowns. D4 hangers on. And career exits are bod, duelist, freelance, gambler, and student. Now, up along the top, you see the advanced scheme numbers. The M, WS, BS, and all that are on your character sheet here. M, WS, BS. And what those are, M is movement. Yeah, you get your hangers on automatically. Yeah. M is movement. WS is weapon skill. That's your melee weapon skill. Ballistic skill. BS. S is strength. T is toughness. W is wounds. That's a rough equate how you partly calculate what would be hit points in Dungeons and Dragons. Wounds is a major part of that. I is initiative, not to be confused with INT, which is the classic Dungeons and Dragons for intelligence. So it goes I, initiative. A is attack. Typically, in the beginning, most people have one attack per round, but later, as you get to be higher level characters, some classes have 2 and maybe even 3 attacks per round. Pretty gnarly when it comes to being like a warrior class type and your melee. Then we have Dex, LD, which is leadership, Int, as I mentioned, intelligence, CL, which is cool, like how well do you handle a situation? Are you a cool cat? Are you freaky, like all the time, getting nervous all the time, real easy? WP is willpower. And then the last one is fellowship, and that's how well you interact with folks of your similar stature. So you write down the starter profile, the advanced scheme, the current profile. You get those set up. Thank you for equating some of these to D&D where applicable. Pretty helpful. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. I really do enjoy D&D, but this system is quite fun. I've really I haven't played D&D since like 3.5, I think, and I played a lot of video games, right? But they're always like partial interpretations. I think that Baldur's Gate 2 does a nice job for that feel of things. So yeah, that's kind of the basics right there. Movement speed, obviously, you're going to be going so far, so fast. On the back, there's a section with a movement rate, cautious, standard, and running. So many yards per second, so many yards per minute, a mile per hour conversions. I don't know. Usually what happens is your movement doesn't go up a whole lot very fast. So after you fill in all your character stuff here, then later you can fill in these ones on the back that are calculated based on the numbers on the front. So there's some of these things on the back that are calculations for other stuff. Fate points, magic points, power level, experience. You've got a languages section, insanity points. That's something that you start going a little crazy. You take an insanity point, you hit so many. Oh yeah, no worries, source. You take so many insanity points, and there's a chart to roll on. I was talking to everybody about the character sheets here and the main attributes, and kind of how they equate a little bit to D&D. Like wounds is a part of your like hit point calculation if you were playing D&D. Weapon score, ballistic skill, weapon skill, each of those being different. I didn't really get into toughness or any of that. I just went through what they are, the name for them and stuff, but I didn't really get much in beyond that. So when I write down my stuff, I write down here what numbers I have, or I write down what's the starter profile for the nobles right here. Right, because this says advanced schemes. So would I have a different starter profile that I needed to just write down that was like, you did this before? I don't remember. When we started our noble campaign, it was so many years ago.
On page 3 are your stat roll, and you'll put your starting basic stats there. Maybe not 3, but maybe 6.
The third page of the part that's stuff. Yeah, okay. So down here, this camera here. That.
Yep. So you'll have your basic stats from there. You'll roll on the dwarf column.
Okay.
And then as you advance, each advancement from your career will cost you 100 experience.
So, okay. So when I go to move those up, like say movement, and I have the option to move it up because of my career, then to take it to that next level, I spend 100 XP.
Yep.
Okay. So yep. D2 plus 2. What? D2?
Yeah,
what the hell? They're like, it's like a half a D4. Just cut your D4 in half. Like, wait, what?
Coin flip, odds or evens sort of thing.
Yeah, I know. It just cracks me up. I grabbed all these dice. I did not grab a quarter. I don't know. That's funny, though. Okay. So I'm going to... Oh, you got it there. Yeah, if you pull it up, I'll move the book and then roll. All right. So let me get. I'm gonna go get a quarter to flip / roll this.
Huh.
All right.